May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. You're trading with RT Money, the host with the most. All right. Hey, happy September Eve. All right. We're moving away from the summer and its unpredictability in the markets, this herky jerky, sideways, choppy chop movements and all. That price action can drive somebody crazy, but there were opportunities, but during the summer you can expect that because the big players, the hedge funds and the institutional money that they go on vacations and stuff, and that leaves the markets to be a little less volatile, and unpredictable. But September brings normalcy back, and those large institutional players will be leaving those footprints for us retail players to follow behind. All right. And that's the whole idea. And I am excited about it. And I think we're going to have a very, very good week. All right. You can see that I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here. And these are EST times, but we have manufacturing on Tuesday. We have JOLTS on Wednesday. We have ADP on Thursday with unemployment claims as well. And then Friday is the big day, NFP. A lot of people are going to think, oh, price is going to be consolidating and until NFP, we're not going to see a whole lot of movement and everything. There's going to be opportunities every day, folks, every day. All right, there's opportunities every day. Just have to be more careful. You have to be more careful during those times where there's no news drivers, or there's a big, impactful red folder coming like NFP, CPI. Uh, uh, who else? Oh, and interest rate news. Those things can reverse the markets. All right, that's highly impactful. So you want to be careful around those times, right? You're just extra careful. A lot of people just say, Why trade? You don't have to take chances or whatever. You don't. But if you have a system uh, like the unicorn model that ICT has blessed us and graced us with, if you have that, it can, you know, it gives you some clarity. It can make uh, that which is not clear a little more clearer. All right. Either the setup is there or it's not. And when the setup is there, chances are it's probably going to hit anyway. All right. If we look at the daily, in the Dixie, if we look at the weekly, you can see that last week ended bullishly, but look how much it came back into traded back into the range of the previous candle, the previous weekly candle. I don't like it when it leaves like 30 to 25%. All right, when it comes to um, uh, weekly uh, fair value gaps. See, this is a weekly fair value gap right here. All right. All right. But when I see price climb back up there, it seems this is the way I interpret it is we're determined to get to the top of this high, the previous candle. We're determined that. We're determined. All right. If it was the top out here, then we have a nice fair value gap here. Which shows that the order flow is definitely got a lot of momentum going down, and I'm looking for price to turn around there. But this is when things get a little sketchy, when you see a pretty nice pullback into the range of the previous candle. And the deal is there is a consummate encroachment, the midpoint of this fair value gap right there. What I don't want to see is price close past that high, the midpoint of this weekly fair value gap. I don't want to see price close past that. All right. I want to see price start to turn around and turn down. That's what I want to see. Down to the drawn liquidity, which is a monthly target. You can see it on the monthly. This is the drawn liquidity here. All right, you can see how price. Come on, man, what is going on here? Why is it sticky? All right, you can see how price push down, and we finally swept the liquidity from this swing low here. All right, just the end of this month. But this is the overall target, I believe, because we didn't take out the previous swing high. We failed to do so, and we're taking out this low. I believe the order flow is bearish and continues to be bearish, and I will be looking for price to create a a monthly fair value gap here this month. You'll see. We'll see. We will see. But on the weekly basis, I don't want to see price go past that high. All right. Now, if we go to the monthly, that's not a high. I keep saying that. The consummate encroachment, the midpoint of the fair value gap for the week. All right, that was just created. I don't want to see price go past that midpoint. All right. Now, what we have here is overlap of the weekly and the daily fair value gaps. You see this the daily fair value gap. This is the weekly one that we were just looking at, right? And you see the overlap. I like to see those overlaps because it gives me a strong sense that price may start to turn around here. So what I'm looking for is price to start that turnaround here. Maybe we may wick up here, all right, and then start to turn around. All right, start to roll over. All right, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see price go past that consummate encroachment. All right, all right. The one thing to note is you see these highs here. Price pushed into that high, traded past those highs. All right, which is a pretty nice bullish indication, and you can see that it left behind a fair value gap. So we do have uh, some momentum going up into that bearish fair value gap. I do believe, there's a good chance that we're gonna fill this fair value gap and head towards the midpoint here, which will be a very big decision maker for me. So even though my overall view of the US dollar index is bearish, I believe that we may have a bullish week to start, maybe up until Thursday. All right. Price may chop up a little bit towards that consummate encroachment. And we'll see if we get a close on the daily candle basis, right? Or daily close basis. If we get a close above that consummate encroachment, then that high, that swing high here, will be exposed. All right. I like this area up here for price to turn around. I think that's a higher probability because of that low. This low here is going through. Let me move this. Yeah, this low here is going through the is intersecting with this fair value gap. The weekly fair value gap kind of strengthens it for me. All right, when it's at those lows. So I'm looking for this to act as strong resistance to price and turn around here. I hope you follow me. I hope you follow what I'm saying here. So we'll see what price does once it reaches up. If it takes out this bearish fair value gap into the larger time frame fair value gap and turn around, we'll see. We'll see. But we do have a little bit of a bullish momentum here, and that makes you want to watch. Look for next week for price to maybe continue bullishly until it reaches up here, and then by mid to late week, it starts to turn around. Maybe only on Friday it starts to turn around. Who knows? But I believe once it starts to turn around, maybe not next week, but the following week, we'll be heading down towards this lower target down here, the lower swing low. Okay. It's going to be an interesting week. Now, let's go to the euro. Just the opposite because the euro is actually the inverse of the Dixie. That's the way it works. All right. I like the fact that we took out this swing high here. All right. Pushed higher. The problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but we turned around. Why do we turn around? Because you expect a retracement after taking out swing highs. All right. Well, you expect it. And that's exactly what happened. Price did turn around and come right into a bullish fair value gap with an intersecting swing high. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for price to turn around. Now, we've gone past the midpoint of this bullish fair value gap. What am I looking for now? All right, it makes it kind of less likely that this fair value gap is going to hold. But I've seen it go right here. I've seen it go right to the edge of fair value gaps and close there, and sometimes just a little bit below it. But we are going into an order block here. All right. If price wicks down here and then starts turning up, that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting. All right. But we may start to see the turning around here. All right. If you go to the weekly, remember what we did with the US dollar index. We have the same situation here. See that high? We just have it in the inverse. All right. We see that high here. All right. Prices made a sharp turn, all right, which lets me believe that we're probably going to test this high, and then we'll start to see price turn back around. We're gonna find out in a little bit, but I am expecting price to turn around. It may wait until Friday, all right, which means, like I said, this is the opposite of the U.S. dollar index. So I'm expecting price to maybe travel a little bit lower, all right, and hopefully, I'm saying hopefully because this is my analysis. So I'm looking for price to turn around at the order block. I'm looking for price to start now to turn around here, and I want to see what the how price reacts in this circle. All right, I'm looking for price to do its thing. That's what I'm looking for. All right, and heading up towards this high, which are relative equal highs up here. All right, I'm looking for price to head towards that drawing liquidity. All right, the buy side liquidity up here. This is what I'm looking for. All right, pound. All right, pound is a little more interesting because it has that bullish fair value gap here, and we're at pretty much the same high. It took out that swing high. All right, and you start to see the retracement. But how far will the retracement go? We're going back into an order block here, and do I expect price to start to turn around? Well, we got some rejection already. All right, look where we're at. We're at the edge of that fair value gap. I'm looking for price to start to turn around here. All right, uh, it's hard to see what we need to see here. So I'm going down to the 4 hour. You see how price ate through this daily fair value, bullish fair value gap, and you can see how what the reaction was here. Price went down to the pip to leave these relative equal lows here. All right, but what are we in? We are in this area of fair value. All right, this is an order block, folks. All right, this is a full order block, and we are at the close to the consummate encroachment of it. All right, I would like to see price start to turn around here. All right, if it curves down, that's fine, but we're still within the fair value gap. I mean, within the area of fair value, this order block here, and I want to see price start to turn around somewhere uh, towards the mid to late week. Okay, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's my story. That's what I'm sticking to. All right, we have a fair value gap down here. So if we draw that line, it's right around the consummate encroachment, which they are aligned. I'm looking for price to turn around. All right, we'll see. Okay, uh, back to the daily, and we'll look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar went a little sideways with us. All right, you can see it had a very nice bullish run up until this swing high. There's a larger target up here, just like with the pound and euro. All right. Uh, if we go, you can see that the high was taken, but we haven't had that retracement yet. All right. It's very interesting. All right. We have an area of fair value, a order block, a bullish order block, and we have a fair value gap that validates that order block. All right, prices held here and has been supported by this bullish fair value gap. Can we see a push going higher? Remains to be seen. What I'm looking forward, what I'm looking towards is, will price go past the consummate encroachment of this bullish order block here? All right, because we've already, um, uh, well, we already swept past the bullish fair value gap, but the fair value gap is still holding price. Will we see price start to push from here? I don't know. I don't know. We have to be patient with this because of NFP coming up. We have to be patient and see what price gives us, what the price action says. We do have some support. We have some supporting structure here. We have a fair value gap and a bullish order block. I'm looking for price to quite possibly dig into this, dig into the fair value gap, dig into the order block, and then turn around. That has been the theme. So that's what I'm looking for here, as well as with Aussie dollar, as well as the two prior euro and the pound. So I'm hoping that we get to see something in that way. I'm looking for this area to turn price around, man. All right. Uh, we'll see. We'll be careful. It's bearish going into the week. Bearish going into the week. All right. Don't just start taking bullish moves. I believe that we're overall bullish, but it has to turn around first. We have to get a signal that the retracement is over before we move. Let's go to the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar is following behind uh, Aussie dollar. Had a nice push. All right. You see these fair value gaps it left. A lot of momentum to bring us past that point. Where are we going? All right. There's that ultimate goal, the ultimate drawing to liquidity up here. Why did it do that? Come on, man. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my time, man. All right. So I'm looking for that. We've swept these highs. All right. And we swept these highs. All right. And I'm looking for a retracement. I'm looking for a retracement after those highs. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it just continues bullish, that's fine. Because what I'll be looking for is fair value gaps, bullish or bearish. If we get bullish fair value gaps developing, like to push past this high, then I'll be looking for buys up until we hit that draw on liquidity. But until that happens, I'm looking for price to come back into this fair value gap and seeing if we can get a push from there. All right, this may be a deep. It may not stop at the fair value gap and go into the order block, and then I'll be looking for price to come from there. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be looking for buys in those areas, but I need that setup first. You understand? I need the setup first. I need to see breaks of structure or to the upside for me to take that trade with confidence. All right, let's look at uh what is this? The Canadian dollar. All right, you can see that price took out the swing high. Or, love the expansion through that swing high just to sweep the high up here. Look at how close these highs are. I believe price is going to be drawn to this liquidity run up here. I do. So I am looking for price to come back into the fair value gap and find its support and shoot on up. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So uh that's a pretty simple setup for me. All right. Lots of momentum here. All right. Price can come back into here, into this bullish fair value gap and continue higher. All right. In the next video, I'll be going over the indices as well as uh, the Swiss and the Japanese yen that I didn't get to in this video. So just look forward to that. I'll be putting it out directly after this one. May profits be upon you. Be careful out there. fellow traders.